Alright, that table can only mean one thing. We're going to be playing the Nintendo Game Boy. And on today's episode, we're going to be playing a little bit of Space Invaders on the Game Boy. And normally I would play this on like the Atari 2600. But today we're going to be playing the Game Boy version, which is definitely different. So without any further ado, let's put it inside and let's see exactly what we get here. Alright, let's find out here. Let's focus this camera and we got the classic Game Boy little intro right there. And we have Space Invaders. The title screen. Let's see if we get a little bit of gameplay. Let's see if they show us gameplay of it. I'm going to leave it on the title screen for a few seconds here. Alright, looks like we might get something here. And basically that's the score that you get when you shoot those enemies. And let's see what else. Do we actually get some gameplay footage? Let's find out. This came out in '94. Alright, so far it's the same thing. So we're just going to start the game. And here we go. And is it any good like the Atari version? Let's find out. So far, it seems pretty standard. Sound effects are not bad. I wonder if they have Galaga on the Game Boy. And this is not a bad version of Space Invaders. This is pretty okay. I feel like the shooting, I would like it to be a little bit more rapid. Because, you know, there's a bit of a delay. You can actually hit the button like probably 4 or 5 times and he only shoots like twice. Like, I want to shoot that thing, man. Oh my god. I got a game over. And there's a versus play also. I'm guessing if you choose this, you have to have your Game Boy hooked up to another Game Boy. So this version of Space Invaders is not bad. And it's pretty decent for a portable version. I'll be the first to say that I do like my Atari 2600 version better. Even if the graphics are better on the Game Boy, I don't care. Like the 2600 version is just classic to me. I think it's pretty good. Now, I'm not sure if there's a Game Gear version. And what about the Atari Lynx? Was there ever Space Invaders on the Atari Lynx? I mean, that would actually make sense. Oh my god. You get a game over pretty quick on this. And that was a little bit of Space Invaders on the Game Boy. I mean, let's try it again. Let's see if we can turn the volume up. Let's find out here. Alright, the volume's over here on the side. Alright, let's see how loud this gets. That's as loud as it goes. And right now we're trying to clear the alien invasion here. See if we can clear this level. Oh, it's pretty hard to see. I mean, it does work. There we go. I'm probably gonna lose. I will admit, playing it on a portable is a little harder than the console version. Oh my god! See how fast I got shot, and that's it. So, Space Invaders. Let's take a look at the label art real quick. And basically that's it, Space Invaders. You got a little Space Invaders kind. That kind of looks like the Atari 2600 Space Invaders sprite. I guess that's what you would call it. They're using it on the label art. And I have somewhere over here, you can do a little comparison. If I can spot where it is. I'm pretty sure I have a copy of Space Invaders that we can actually see. Somewhere over here. Alright, let's grab a copy of Space Invaders. Alright. And unfortunately, the copy that I have on hand doesn't actually have label art. Let me just take a look and see if I have another copy here. I'm pretty sure I do. Star Raider. Okay, I must have another copy of this somewhere. And I guess I don't. That sucks. Alright, so I'll show you guys the copy I do have. I was going to do a little comparison between label art, but this is a bad comparison. As you can see right here, this is definitely an Atari 2600 version of Space Invaders, but it's one of these cartridges right here. It's a Sears cartridge, Telegames, and it's from 1980, and the label art is crappy. It's not that good. There's no art whatsoever. It just has a little description and has text. So in this case, the Game Boy definitely wins on the label art. Now keep in mind there is other variations of Space Invaders on the Atari 2600 where there is definitely better label art. But that's the one I own, and it's not that good as far as label art goes. And I'm guessing that I actually own another copy of Space Invaders somewhere, but I just don't know where the hell it is. I'm going to be honest. It's someplace around here. Nonetheless, that was Space Invaders on the Game Boy. And just so you guys can see, apparently you can link the Game Boy together. And if you do that, it's actually right here. It's a little cable that you plug in right here. And you plug it into the other Game Boy and you can actually talk to each other. And communicate. And this is called the external connector, I guess. That's what they call it. And you would use that to play two-player games. And usually it does work quite well on certain games. You have a headphone jack on the bottom. And yeah, this is a modded Game Boy from a friend Joe, and he did a pretty good job. Gave it to me for no cost because the screen's slightly defective, but it works fine for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video of Space Invaders. And stay tuned for another episode featuring Game Boy games. You never know what you're going to see next. And hopefully we see some more Game Boy games here on Gaming Palooza Empire Memory Lane. Just recording random Game Boy games. And if you guys enjoy that, just let me know down below. And once I get my hand on a Game Gear, I will be doing the same thing, but instead of Game Boy, it's going to be Game Gear. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.